All right, let's get right into it. We're going to take a deep dive into one of the most powerful chapters in the entire Bible, Romans chapter 8. It speaks to this feeling we all have, that sense that something's just not right with the world. And what's amazing is that it builds this incredible, unshakable structure of hope right on top of that feeling.
I mean, have you ever just looked around at all the brokenness, the suffering, the constant frustration, and just felt this deep ache inside? A feeling that, this just isn't how it's all supposed to be?
Well, what if I told you that feeling isn't the beginning of despair? It's not you being cynical. Actually, it's the very seed, the starting point, of a hope so profound it can change absolutely everything.
To really get this, we have to start where the Apostle Paul starts, with creation itself. He paints this picture of a world that is breathtakingly beautiful, but also deeply broken. A world that is, in its own way, groaning. And it's this fascinating paradox, isn't it? The world is fundamentally good. You can see the genius of its creator everywhere. But it's also wounded. It's beautiful, yet you see brokenness all over it. There's an order to it, but so often it feels like it's fighting against its own design.
So that ache you feel, that sense that things are just off, that's not you being negative. In Romans chapter 8, verse 22, Paul essentially says that what you're feeling is a theologically accurate perception. You are seeing the world clearly. Christian hope doesn't just paper over this brokenness. It looks it right in the eye and insists that it has an expiration date.
And that brings us to one of the most misunderstood ideas in this whole chapter. See, Paul isn't just trying to balance the scales, putting today's pain on one side and tomorrow's reward on the other. He's doing something much bigger. He's completely recalibrating how we understand reality itself.
So when Paul writes in Romans 8:18 that our current sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that's coming, he is absolutely not dismissing your pain. He's not saying it's small or that it doesn't matter. He's saying that glory is in a completely different category. You can't even measure it on the same scale.
This really lays it out. We're not comparing a bad day with a good day. We're comparing two totally different realities. On one hand, you have the old creation, which is defined by things like decay and frustration. And on the other, the new creation, which is all about transformation, resurrection, and total fulfillment.
So here's the key takeaway. Suffering is the currency of this world, the one that's fading. Glory is the very substance of the world that's coming. They're not just different amounts of the same thing, they are different worlds altogether.
But why? Why is the world like this in the first place? And this is where the story takes a mind-blowing turn. The brokenness we see isn't some cosmic accident. Believe it or not, it actually has a purpose.
Paul states in Romans 8, verse 20, that creation was subjected to all this frustration in hope. Just let that phrase sink in. In hope. That changes everything. It means the fall of creation wasn't a random disaster. And, this is crucial, it wasn't the final word.
The original Greek word for futility here is mathiates. And it doesn't mean meaningless. It means purpose thwarted. Think of a brilliant, perfectly designed machine that's been sabotaged. It's still running, but it's grinding and working against its own design. That's our world.
So what does that mean for you and me? It means that our story, the grand story of history, it isn't a tragedy. It's a rescue mission. The ending has already been decided. We're just living through the part of the story with the delayed resolution. Even decay itself is on borrowed time.
Okay, so let's see how this hope keeps building, because it's not just about the world out there. It's pointing to a transformation that is deeply personal and, at the same time, cosmic in scale.
Now you gotta catch this next part because it's huge. The glory that's coming isn't something we're just gonna watch from the sidelines, like spectators at a movie. It is going to be revealed in us. We are not just the audience, we're part of the show. To make it really plain, the hope of resurrection is not about being relocated. It's not about escaping to some ghostly spiritual realm. It is about recreation, the remaking of everything, including our own physical bodies and the very fabric of the cosmos. And here it is, the peak of this whole idea. Glory is not some place you go. It's what you become. Transformed, whole, and finally, what humanity was always supposed to be.
And that's why your personal salvation is a cosmic event. Think about it. Humanity was created to be the stewards of creation. When humanity fell, creation was dragged down with it. So it only makes sense that when humanity is raised up in glory, creation gets raised up too. Your story has consequences for the entire universe.
So how do we live right now, in this in-between time? Paul is really clear that our waiting isn't supposed to be passive. It is a faith that is alive and buzzing with expectation.
You see, Christian hope isn't this kind of weak, fingers-crossed wish that, oh, I hope it gets better. No way. It is a deep, certain, eager anticipation that says, because of who God is, it must get better. That's not resignation, that's joyful expectation.
And this is why believers themselves groan. It's not because our faith is failing, it's because it's just getting started. Through the Holy Spirit, we get the first fruits, like a little taste, a preview of the glory to come. And once you've tasted that, man, you feel the ache of what's missing in this world even more sharply. It creates this holy dissatisfaction, a deep longing that refuses to settle for anything less than the real thing.
So this puts us in this unique position. To be totally comfortable and at home in this broken world, well, that's a sign something's wrong. But to completely despair is to forget the promise. We live right there in that tension, so grateful for the taste of what's to come and so restless for the fullness of it.
In the end, it all comes down to this. The world groans under the weight of its own frustration. We groan right along with it, longing for redemption. But our groaning isn't the groaning of death, it's the groaning of childbirth. And because Jesus Christ is risen from the dead, we have an ironclad living guarantee that our waiting, our hope, and our groaning will not be in vain.